G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another episode of Wasteland Survival. So last week's episode I got pretty much the entire structure of the door done. The only thing I really changed in between episodes is I added this line of blocks. So obviously we have door number 1 and door number 2. So yeah, the only thing to do now is get everything welded up. So I really was wondering how I'm going to do these wheels, but honestly, I think it's better if I just do them by hand. So I can't remember exactly how many wheels there are, but basically my character can carry about enough materials to weld up 3.5 of those. So unfortunately, it's going to take me a fair few trips to get up there and weld up those wheels. So I think perhaps what I might do is load all of the materials that I need into the weld ship, move that up there, and then just withdraw them from there rather than having to fly all the way down to this connector here. I mean, sure, I could run a conveyor up the wall and probably put a welder in there somewhere and maybe another one in there as well. But to be fair, I reckon it's going to take me way more time to do that than it will to actually do it by hand. So yeah, really sucks, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so let's reverse these doors. Cool, so they're reversed, and now the door should open up very nicely. So one of the other things I plan to do, and I actually am surprised that nobody pointed this out in the comments, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blocks here and then remove some blocks there so that the door kind of goes like down there, across, down like that, across, down like that, across, and down like that. So that the door connection, well, these two doors where they join up isn't exactly flat. It's kind of like offset this side, offset this side, offset this side, and offset this side. So it's kind of jagged, and I think it will make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, so now I have the fun task of getting all these wheel suspensions welded up. Alright, so I'm sitting here in my little weld ship. I'm just going to empty everything out of it. Although one thing I noticed is I actually don't have that many steel plates left. So let's have a look here. Yeah, I've got 80 in the weld ship already, 529 there, 1100 there, another roughly 500, and another 6. So what's that, like 2,000 to 3,000? And when I first started digging this tunnel, I think I had like 50,000. Or something along those lines. So yeah, we've gone through 50,000 steel plates. So before I start loading all of the materials into the weld ship, let's go ahead and queue up another 50,000 of these things, because I dare say we're probably going to use that, and probably even more, just to get that door done. Okay, so all up we have about 14 sets of wheels. 14 sets of wheel suspension and then 14 sets of wheels for each door. So in total we got 28. So to build that I need 1,540 steel plates, 1,260 construction components, 448 large pipes, 336 small pipes, and 168 motors. So we should be able to fit everything into this here ship. So I just need to clear everything out of it and then put everything into it. And I think with the excess space, what I might do is just put in some steel plates so that we can make a start on all of those, all of these blocks that are in the corner of the door. So, yeah, those blocks there, because when this door is fully extended, there's probably going to be a line of blocks that will occupy this space here. In kind of a triangle, so I'm not going to be able to get to them, so the only way I'm going to be able to weld those up is by hand. And I might actually grind away these blocks here going across so that I can actually get in there without doing funky stuff like that. So alright, let's move all the materials into this and start getting welding. Okay, so we needed about 448 of these large steel tubes, but I could only fit 428 into this ship. So we are going to have to make another trip for like 20 of those large pipes. It's the unfortunate thing about those things, they don't actually weigh a lot, but they do take up a lot of room. So one thing I am worried about though is this thing going to be too heavy. I think we should be fine. Let's have a look here. 138,000 kilos. Yeah, that's fine. We can... This thing can hold about 200,000 kilos, I think, on this planet. Or maybe a bit less. Let's try not to smash into anything here. So I think what I'll do is I'll just park it right here. And then just withdraw materials as I need them. Alright, so let's turn off the thrusters. Make sure it actually sits there. Yep, everything looks good. I might actually weld up these blocks though, just so that it doesn't burn out one of the blocks and then just fall to the ground. But yeah, that certainly beats having to fly all the way down there. Okay, so let's get these wheels done. Alright, so I've got all my wheels welded up, all of my wheel suspension. Unfortunately, you can kind of see that I put all of these wheels on this door backwards. So I guess it's not really a big deal. I might go and change it off camera later, because it is actually bothering me a little bit. So I might change that. But like I said, if I am going to do that, I'm not going to do it on camera. So let's get rid of these line of blocks at the front here. And I don't think my weld chip will actually fit in here. I'm pretty sure it won't. Let us just... let's try it out and see if it actually does. I think it might be able to squeeze through, but... I just don't know if it's worth it, because I dare say it's going to bang into a lot of stuff in the process. So, nah, it's not fitting through. It won't fit through the blocks, but I think it would actually fit in that cavity against the walls of the canyon. So maybe I could do it, but I don't think it's going to work. So I think I'm kind of gonna have to resort to filling this up with the components that I need, and then coming back to this to weld everything up by hand. It's just one of those things where, like, you just can't get anything in there. I probably could build some sort of a welding contraption and do it that way, but like I said, I think by the time I design something like that, build it out, it probably would have just been quicker doing it by hand anyway. So, and I don't think whatever I build for that purpose would actually be able to be used for something else. I just have to deconstruct it after I'm finished. So if I'm only going to build it once, then yeah, it just really doesn't make sense. So how many steel plates do I have here? 47k. Alright, cool. That's a little bit better. So let's get rid of everything on the ship and then replace it all with steel plates. Alright, so I've got this thing filled up about as far as I want to. I haven't filled up the welders, because if I do, then it's overweight. If I do if I fill the cockpit, they can't get out of there, and I don't think I can transfer cargo in there anyway. So yeah, we are fully loaded. So yeah, there you go, 208,000 kilos. This thing is a bit of a powerhouse. I mean, for a small grid ship, it can lift quite a lot of material. I would actually at some stage though like to build a large grid version of a weld ship, because I think it might come in handy. But yeah, I probably should have... I don't think I'd be able to make use of it in the rest of this series, but I think in the next series I definitely would be able to. Yeah, that's what I was kind of afraid of. Alright, let's turn these thrusters off. Let me replace that block so that we don't fall down. I might actually weld these up so that I don't risk damaging them. Alright, there we go. So temporary little landing pad for my little welding ship here. Okay, so now I think what I'll do is I'm going to grind away these blocks here. So get rid of these. Make sure I don't grind the one with the wheel suspension on it. Then I'm going to reverse these doors. Alright, let's reverse those. Once they get to the middle, then I'll kind of know how many blocks I need to get to from this point. So I'm going to have to weld up these blocks here in the corner. I think a lot of these ones though that will poke through about here and here. Those ones I'll be able to do with the ship. Oh, done. I'm almost about to run out of fuel. Please don't, please don't. Oh, that was so close.
Fuel.
Now I got to take the ship all the way down. Okay, alright, so let's deal with that in a minute. So, like I was saying, I'm going to have to weld all these blocks up here. Then I'm going to have to put in, like, blocks in the corner, weld those up, put some more blocks, until I get to that point there. Once I get to that point on all four corners, then I can just place the entire door down, and then come at it from the top or the bottom and use the welding ship to weld everything up from that point onwards. So I think this calls for a time lapse. am back with a half-finished door, and there's a good reason for that. I scarcely believe it, and I don't know if you guys will believe it yourselves, but I've actually run out of steel plates. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I went and did a mining run at about episode 91, I think it was, and I got approximately 1.2 million units of iron ingots. That's all gone. I guess, I don't know, maybe it's not so surprising because there are a fair few steel plates in this this kind of framework. So I don't know, I really don't want to do any more mining, but I really don't have a choice. So alright, now I need to find the closest deposit to me. So whereabouts is that? Okay, so we've got one over there which is 534 meters away. We've got one over there which is 1 kilometer. I might try this one that's 1 kilometer. I want to see roughly where that is. The only problem is I really can't see much in this weather. The question is, do I just bring out my ship enough to finish this? Nah, that one's been mined out. Okay, so we will take that one off the list. Which one is that? Iron 8. Alright, so let's delete that. Cool. Alright, so that's gone. Let's go and have a look at iron 13 and 12. So my silo is over there where that GPS marker is. Oh, you're... Oh, don't do that to me, game. Don't do that to me. Okay, this one is... yeah, I was pretty sure I'd actually been here before, so... Which one is that? Iron 12. Let's get rid of that as well. Iron 12 gone. Okay, let's check out iron 13. No, I haven't been here yet. The only thing is... Oh man, I really wish there wasn't a storm right now. It's really annoying. I might try iron number 4. Because I can get out of the base pretty easy and turn right and get to this location really easily. So maybe this one is the go-to resource. Okay, so this one is in the ground, which is what I don't really want. And I believe this is the one that we mined out in episode 91. Man, I really need to start getting rid of my GPS markers when I no longer need them. So, alright, let's get rid of this one. Well, I'm probably not going to bore you guys too much with finding another deposit, so I'll just find one and then I'll come back when I've actually found it. Well, looks like we have a winner. Iron, without any number behind it, is directly in front of my base. Why I have not mined this resource before is beyond me. Well, I wouldn't say it's directly out the front of my base, but it's pretty close actually. Alright, let's jump in the Nomad. Are my mining ships on the back? Yes, they are. They're good to go. Should probably turn the spotlights off this one. Alright, let's drive out there and have a look. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of all the other... Not get rid of them, but I'll just hide them from the UI. Cool. And now we should have that single solitary GPS signal that we can now drive to. Let's turn my lights off because I don't need them in here. Now, the last time I had this thing in the garage, it was loaded up with a whole bunch of iron ingots. So I believe I need to tone down the strength a bit. So I'll put the strength to like 11% before I release the connector, because I feel like it's gonna kind of, yeah, shoot upwards when I release it from the connector. So which one is the actual rear one? It's this one here. So let's disconnect that. Okay, we've got some clang happening here. Let's go and check it out. I think one of these mining ships has its thrusters still turned on, so I need to sort that out ASAP. Okay, there we go. It was this one here that had its thrusters on, and my rover is still moving forward without me driving. Please don't crash. Right, here we go. Do I have my spotties on? It's a good question. Yeah, I do. So I believe it is number 2 on the hot bar. What was that clanged around just then? Now I do need to be a little bit careful because if I'm not mistaken, there is an oasis in front of me, so I could fall down into a big trench. So I've really got to be careful about that, but hopefully the spotlights should reveal that before I get near it. So I might take it a little bit slower than I usually would. We got some cobalt. Cool. We can just drive straight up to this deposit. That's awesome. Alright, let's put the handbrake on. I might reverse the rover around so that it's easier to get the mining ships off and then mining. Yeah, this thing is definitely not the most agile rover, but it does carry a boatload of cargo, so there is that. Cool. I think that is about as good a spot as any. Let's put our handbrake on. I'll turn off the thrusters on the rover itself. And now let's do some mining. Alright, well that basically concludes this little mining trip. I think we ended up with somewhere in the realm of, I think it was like 1.1 million units of iron ingots. Let's just have a look. Well, sorry, iron ore. So yeah, I've got about 1.2 million. Yeah. Now, last time I kind of said that that would be enough, and it never ended up being enough. So I am kind of concerned that I'm going to run out again. So what I've gone ahead and done is actually moved, or gone and scouted the region out for another 2 iron deposits. So there's one over there which is only 660 meters away, and then there's obviously another one behind that. Now I did actually skip forward a little bit to daylight, because honestly trying to mine at night time was, yeah, it's possible and it's easy to do, but it just doesn't show up on the camera very well. So yeah, I decided to do that portion during daylight, or at least wait for daylight to come along. Alright, so let's go move the rover over to the next deposit and then go and clean that one out. You can tell that the rover's getting pretty heavy now, or at least I can. So yeah, the suspension is, need to dial the strength up a bit. So that should be the strength. Yeah, I think that is the strength. Alright, let's reverse it in like we did last time. Unfortunately, it is rather sluggish in reverse. I think that should be good. I might actually reduce the strength a little bit, because it's like... Let's put the handbrake on. Stop! Please stop. Jeez, it really doesn't want to go in reverse. Alright, I'm going to dial down the suspension a bit, because I think, as you can see, those 2 wheels in the middle aren't actually contacting the ground. So let's put on the handbrake, and I think instead what I'll do is increase the height. So I believe I have to... Yep, there we go. So, now we should have a little bit better ground clearance for when we go back to the base. Okay, let's continue this little mining expedition. Alright, well, we have completely depleted the second deposit, and now we have about 2.3 million units of iron, so yeah, I dare say that should be enough. At least, you know, that's as much as this thing can carry. So yeah, let's just have a look here. We have, yeah, 1.134 million and 1.14 million. We got a little bit in the refinery, and then I've still got a little bit in the mining ship as well, so probably like another 100,000. Oh yeah, and there's some in these connectors as well. So yeah, we have an absolute ton of iron. So hopefully that is the last time that I ever have to mine iron in this series. But, you know, I did say that last time, so we'll see what happens. Now, unfortunately, I did have to cut the recording short when I was actually mining that, because yeah, I had to leave the computer and then come back and reload the game, so I just decided not to time-lapse the rest of it. Alright, so now we have to head back to base, get all this stuff refined, and then use it to manufacture a whole bunch of steel plates and finally get this door complete. So I am definitely keen to get started with that. Now this thing is going to be very sluggish, so, and bear in mind that this thing actually has 5 thrusters at full pelt right now, so yeah. It definitely needs those thrusters when it weighs this much. And it actually turns quite well these days. I actually need to upload this back onto the workshop because I did make some subtle changes to the steering. So yeah, I think that's something I need to do in the near future. Alright, let's get this thing reversed in. Might take it just a tiny touch slower. Nah, I like the speed. Let's go full speed ahead. Not quite full speed, but fast enough. Okay, I think that is reasonably well centered. Yeah, I think that's looking about perfect. Okay, so at this point, I'll switch to the camera and we can reverse in. And why is that air vent still going? That is just bizarre. And look at that, we're at the perfect level as well. At least I think we are. So we should be able to just hook straight up to this connector, which is very nice. I really like this setup. I think I am actually really pleased with how this rover connects to this base. And this little screen and everything like that. It just works absolutely perfectly. And it's just so easy to get it to lock to this connector. And there we go. We are locked to the base. Alright, so let's jump out of the seat. And my refineries will be working extra hard to get this complete. I forget, did I make access to the rover that side? No, I don't think I did from behind. Or maybe I did. I have to check it out. Let's go through here. Go out this door. And our little ramp should pop out. Perfection. Awesome. Alright, and then we just walk back. Okay, so this is a little bit weird. It seems as if I have kind of broken the game somehow. None of these rooms seem to have any oxygen in them. Or, no, this one does. Let us go check out the refinery room and try and figure out why that is not airtight. I'm sure it was... What? Now it is airtight? Okay. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think, honestly, I'm at the point where I'm really pushing the limits of what this engine is capable of. So, what are we looking at in terms of performance? So we got 81 FPS. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not terrible, but it's not, yeah. So I don't really see what the issue is, but I think honestly, I've had a lot of issues with the, the oxygen system in the base. As I said, I think I'm kind of pushing the limits of what this engine is capable of. So, all right, let's get back to this door. Alrighty guys, welcome back. So I have fully finished this door, and as you can see, I'm currently in the process of reversing this door out, and we can finally make a start on these teeth. Now I think I'm gonna use these blocks here, basically like the edge of the blast door blocks, or the blast door edges, I guess you could say. So let's grab some steel plates. Now I think I want to make these like yellow and black, very similar to what I've done for the landing pads for the ships and stuff like that. So where do we start? Okay, so I've been racking my brain for a little bit as to how I'm actually going to achieve this. Given that this width here is like 23 blocks, it's really hard to kind of come up with a number that will, like, so if I put a tooth of about 4 blocks wide here, and then, you know, 4 blocks here, 4 blocks there, then I end up with 3 blocks here on the end. And similarly, if I go 3 blocks, leave 3 blocks, another 3 blocks, then I end up with only 1 block over this side. So I think instead I'll start from the middle. I think that's just going to be a lot easier. So, and we can really just make the teeth as big as what we want. So I think here I'll go maybe 3 blocks here, and then we'll leave a 3 block spacing. So we got that 3 blocks there. We'll put our next set of teeth, and we'll do the same on this side. For some reason they keep flipping over though, which is really annoying. Alright, so we got 3, 2, 3, and then we go 1, 2, 3 again, and then we have our final tooth there, and we have a final tooth here on the end as well. Awesome. So from there we need to put in some of these blocks. So put these blocks in here. Now I don't know, I might actually change the other ones to corner blocks. I really wish these blocks would actually stay in the proper orientation. That would be really nice. Okay, here we go. That one I can't place, and I don't think I can place this one either. Oh no, it will let me place that one. So that kind of means this door is, yeah, kind of not fully aligned like it should be, but that's alright. Okay, so, and then from this side, what we're going to do is put in our teeth again. But I think these blocks here, we'll have to get rid of these, and it's a good thing I made these 3 blocks, because then we do have the option to use these blocks. So then I'll need a corner piece like that. I will get rid of these blocks, and essentially we'll do the exact same thing for the entire, for the entire roof, or sorry, not roof, door. Alright, so here we go. I've got most of these blocks laid out, so as you can see they kind of dip down here in the middle. So what we've got here is our corner blast doors, we've got our blast door edges, and then also our corners here. So what I need to do is change this block here to one of these, which is essentially like the inverted corner. So I need to change that block here with this one, and then these 3 blocks here need to be changed to these edges here, like that, so that everything kind of meets up at a point. The only problem is, I don't know, I'm kind of concerned that these teeth aren't really long enough. I don't know, they kind of look a little bit weird only being 3 blocks, so as much as it pains me to say it, I might actually change them to 5 and see how that looks. So maybe I'll make that small little change, and then we'll see how it looks after that. Alright, and there we go. So I've gone ahead and I've changed it to be 5 blocks wide on each of these teeth, and I think it does look a little bit better. It is really hard to see what they look like at this point though, you know, given the fact that we haven't actually finished welding these up. So like I was saying before though, let me just get rid of some steel plates here. So the plan is to now change these blocks here, although this is going to take me a while because obviously I've got to grind them out individually and then change them for these blocks here. So yeah, that's not going to be very fun, but we'll probably do this off camera though, because it's just a lot of mundane kind of work. Alright, and there we go. So I've kind of finished most of the door. There are still a few little bits and pieces that I need to sort out. I parked the ship up there just to give it a little bit of light. Ooh, missed a block here, so fantastic. I actually have the blocks on me to do it. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I would actually like it to be maybe only one block deep, so not sure how I change that though. So, but essentially what I would like to do is I need to grab yellow from somewhere else on the base. Where is the base? It's over here. Okay, let me grab some yellow off this landing pad here. Yep, so we'll grab this color here. And I'll put this at alternating points. And we'll see how it looks. So I'm thinking exactly the same pattern as what we have over there. So we will just go... So maybe we'll go yellow in the middle, on the edge, then on the corners, and then we'll just kind of follow that same pattern. Okay, so essentially something like that. Yeah, you know what? I really do want to make the door maybe only one block deep. I don't know, can I actually do that though? I don't know if I can. I suppose I could grind these blocks back, move those forward, grind these back, move those forward, but then it would be level with each other, wouldn't it? I really need to play around with that, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with that so far. I definitely think though I'm going to change the color of this door entirely, because I might change it to the sandy armor skin. So perhaps we could use... Which skin was it again? This one here, the dust armor. So we could use that skin there, but in black. And make the whole door kind of like that color. And then on the edges, we use this kind of dark grey, which is actually, you know, black in battered armor, but for some reason in battered armor black looks like a dark grey. So yeah, I think that's about as good as we can get. But anyway guys, I'm gonna leave it there for this episode. This episode has probably gone a lot longer than what I had planned, and it's definitely taken me a lot of hours to put this one together. So really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.